Welcome to Jew or False. I'm your host, Jason A. Kessler, and today I want to talk about the Sumatran rhino. The Sumatran rhino is the smallest and hairiest of all the rhinos. It's basically the Hobbit of the animal kingdom. It has 2 horns, likes to hang out in the mud, and because of poaching and habitat loss, it's now one of the most endangered animals on the planet, with fewer than 80 left in the wild. There are more chips in a can of Pringles. Now, imagine if activists around the world tried to remove the Sumatran rhino from the endangered species list. Because just look at it. It's big, it's got really tough skin, it has 2 horns. Most animals don't even have 1. With that kind of horn privilege, how can we really keep it on the endangered list? Maybe you see where I'm going. Jews are also an endangered species. People have been trying to kill us for thousands of years, and now we're only 0.18% of the population in the world. And yet these days people act like Jews are fine. Sure, 6 million of us were hunted down and murdered, but that was like 80 years ago. Jews are doing great now. We're not like a real minority. And if you really believe that, I have a small hairy rhinoceros I could sell you. Look, here's the truth. In the last century, there's been a mass exodus of Jews, chased out of their home countries, fleeing around the world in search of safer habitats. Before the Holocaust, there were almost 10 million Jews in Europe. Now, there's only around 1 million left. In the 1960s, there were almost 1 million Jews in North African and Middle Eastern countries where they had lived for centuries. Now there are fewer than 15,000 Jews left in those countries. We basically ended up in 2 places on Earth where we felt safe. Around 43% of Jews are in Israel and 36% in the US, with the rest scattered in small numbers around the world. And here's the thing, there are still fewer Jews alive today than before the Holocaust. That's bonkers. Yet somewhere along the way we lost our seat at the minority table. Now we're lumped in with the white majority, we're cast as too powerful and privileged to be oppressed. It's like the world sees us as the powerful Sauron, Dark Lord of Mordor, when the truth is we're more like the Hobbits. Sure, they've got cozy homes in the Shire, and they enjoy 6 good meals a day, but they're still just Hobbits. Look, it's true that some Jews in the US have done well, with good careers and comfortable lives, but treating Jews as if we're no longer under threat is turning a blind eye to history. No matter how safe we may seem today, things can change very quickly when you're such a tiny minority, as we've learned over and over again. That's why minorities are so vulnerable, because they're minorities. And Jews are like the minorest of minorities. If we were a song, people would only listen to us right after getting dumped, or on their way to a funeral, or after watching Manchester by the Sea. Jews are only 2% of the US, and even though we benefit from some privilege that other minority groups don't, Jews don't have nearly the same benefit that comes with numbers. Look at the strength of the Black Lives Matter movement. Look at the visibility of the Stop Asian Hate hashtag. When Jews trend online, it's usually not so good for the Jews. Especially in the social media age when everything is a popularity contest and cyber mobs troll with impunity, Jews are at a huge disadvantage when fighting the hate we get. And we get a lot of hate. Even though Jews are safer in the US than pretty much any other time or place in history, it's all relative. It's like saying you're safer taking a bath with a wild raccoon than a lion. Even here in the US, Jews have always faced discrimination, and over the past decade, attacks against Jews have been steadily rising at an alarming rate. And we're trying to speak up, but there are so few of us, it's hard to make the world listen. It's hard to defend ourselves when we're accused of having more than our fair share of power and success, and when that's used as a justification to deny our vulnerability, to deny our status as a minority. But here's the thing I find the most troubling. Looking back at our history, the idea that Jews have more than our fair share is exactly the kind of thinking that led to the worst violence against us. Hitler accused the Jews of having too much power and influence in German society, and that helped justify his anti-Jewish policies to the German public. Between 1890 and 1920, Russian mobs killed thousands of Jews in violent pogroms that often came shortly after massive crop failures, when local peasant farmers scapegoated the Jews who were overrepresented in occupations as traders and middlemen. 2 million Jews fled the Russian Empire. Time and time again, all over the world, Jews are robbed, massacred, and chased out, from the Middle East and North Africa in the 1900s, to the Spanish Inquisition in the 1400s, to England and France in the Middle Ages. It's even in our holiday traditions. Look at Passover, when Jews celebrate our liberation from slavery in Egypt over 3,000 years ago. Do you know how we became slaves in the first place? A Jew named Joseph, with his fancy coat of many colors, became a powerful advisor to the Pharaoh and turned Egypt into a safe place to be a Jew. But after a generation or two, a new Pharaoh came around who said, "Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more numerous and stronger than we are." So he made us slaves and threw our babies in the Nile. Because something had to be done about Egypt's Jewish problem. It's a cycle we know very well. Its memory is chiseled into our traditions. It's flowing in our blood, and no, we will never forget. So have Jews enjoyed success in this country that other minorities have been denied? Sure. Do Jews have to face the same kind of prejudice and danger endured by people with black skin? Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean Jews are safe. That doesn't mean Jews aren't extremely vulnerable for different reasons. That doesn't mean you can stop treating Jews like a minority. As Ruth Bader Ginsburg would say, you don't throw away your umbrella in a rainstorm because you are not getting wet. You might look at American Jews and think you see a bunch of people who aren't getting wet, but trust me, we're not as dry as you think. And we know that a storm is raging around us, and the only thing keeping us from drowning is a small, fragile umbrella.